Jude, I'm Dade.
And I'm Jude.
And do you see that I'm wearing like season 1 promo t-shirt?
Oh, I like that. The fact that
Yeah.
you even remembered is amazing.
Got colour in my eyes. I just thought I had morning as well.
Brings out the
Some
blue.
money. We need some money for budgets, so we look different each time.
Yeah, we need a wardrobe. Any investors out there wanting to give us a wardrobe?
Happy to advertise for free. Happy days. Interesting topic today, I found. Like, it's an interesting one. Like we do come up with random things, and this is really random.
How did we get to this topic?
I have no idea whatsoever. We were like, that sounds like a great topic. So
We'll do that.
We're going to do that and see how it goes. So welcome. What are we talking about, Jude?
Well, today we are going to talk about the 7 wonders of the world.
Interesting.
Very.
Before we get into wonders of the world, I'm going to give you a Dade's definition. All right.
Dade's definition.
Dade's
I like
definition.
this introduction.
I know. So I just thought, let's just talk about what a wonder is first. Right. A wonder is a feeling of surprise mingled with admiration caused by something beautiful, unexpected, unfamiliar, and inexplicable.
Oh.
I know. Yeah, no, a wonder. That's why I'm like, I wanted to understand why they're called wonders to begin with.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
Then I was like, I did have to do some research, and then I realized there's the 7 wonders of the world, which we'll start on, but there's like other lists of wonders of the world, which I was like, how do I know these? Why these aren't publicized? But it's only the main one.
And when you said what you just said, there seems to be 2 pockets here. There's the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
Yes.
And the 7 wonders of the world.
Yes. Which have evolved over time, right?
Yes, because, interesting fact, coming your way, if I may, without pooing on your parade, I believe that there's only... It's a nice thought, isn't it? There's only one existing ancient wonder of the world. Do you know which one it is?
I would say the pyramids.
And I would say that you were right.
Yes, like I would, because like I'm actually looking at anything at the moment, because if I was thinking ancient, the pyramids for sure.
Because
I want to say there's something of Babylon.
Yes, well,
the Gardens of Babylon.
The Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
But they don't know whether that was actually a thing, because there's nothing left of it if it did exist. But what was interesting is in my research, thank you, Google,
yeah.
I learned that out of the original 7 ancient wonders of the world, the pyramids only exist because I believe that 3 were lost to earthquakes and 2 were lost to fire, if they ever did exist. So that's why there's no record, and that's why they had to reinvent some new wonders of, we won't call it the modern world, but of a world that's not
the next generation of the world, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But let's just go back whether they ever existed. So somebody was there going, hey, let's just write this down and see whether people believe it in the years to come.
I mean, we're opening a can of worms right there with that thing. But yes, to a point, because we're talking, I don't remember what the 7 ancient wonders of the world were, but we're talking like Greek gods, we're talking mythical situations. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, for example, was like this, opulent, beautiful structure with these beautiful, like, green shrubbery things all around it. But there doesn't ever seem to be, other than like documents that may have been recorded at the time, we don't know whether it was an actual thing or not. So, yeah, I mean...
Look, I'm looking at them now. I've actually gone and looked. So the Great Pyramids of Giza, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Temple of Artemis, statue of Zeus in Olympia. Yeah, that would make sense. But does that open up another can of worms over the gods?
I mean, I think we could literally be delving into unknown territory right here, which of
course...
I
know, like we're not historians, right?
And we're random, and this is random, so we'll go with it.
The Molosseum of, I can't even say that word, the Halicarnassus or something. Then Colossus of Rhodes and the Lighthouse of Alexandria.
Yeah.
And I've heard of them, but I wouldn't be able to tell you. Well, actually, that tells you in the title where most of them are.
Yeah, but they are like, I mean, Alexandria, I mean, that's like Roman, right? Roman
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
So we're talking a long, long time ago.
long
But
time.
anyway, we digress.
We do. So, can you guess what current ones are?
Yes, I know a few of them, maybe. The Colosseum,
Yes.
I'm looking to my left. Petra in Jordan,
Yeah.
and the Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
Because I know the story behind that one.
Go on then. Tell me the story.
I believe the Taj Mahal was am I pronouncing it right?
The Taj Mahal.
Yeah, thank you. I suddenly had a brain fart and I
Yeah.
was like, is that how you pronounce it? Was originally built to commemorate the lost wife of a very wealthy ruler in India at the time. And so he wanted to preserve this beauty of this wife in a tomb of some description, I believe. And then he built this incredible white marble structure around it that actually, I believe, changes color depending on what time of day
Wow.
you go and visit it. And it's supposed to be one of those places that a lot of couples want to go to like, you know, propose or share their undying love for each other because of the purpose of why it was bought. It was all kind of made. It was all kind of built and made around the love that this guy had for his girl.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite a story. Like nobody would do that for you now, right?
No, I mean, God, if I could have anything, I mean, I'll take a flower.
like back then. Oh, don't worry, darling. We're going to be able to do statues and things like that now. Nah.
Exactly right. But and I think I might have read, don't quote me on this, readers,
No,
listeners, anybody
no.
who could be watching this right now, but I think that because of the opulence of the building, the guy that asked them to make it, he cut off every single worker's hands that helped build it so it could never be rebuilt ever again by those people. And if I'm on point with that,
That sounds like
shall I Google it whilst you carry on talking?
No, say what?
Shall I Google it whilst you carry
No,
on talking?
well, I'm just thinking like that sounds beautiful, like romantic in a way, but also horrible.
It's
Like they put all
barbaric.
their work into this making this thing and they chop off their hands and they're just like, well,
Right.
cheers, mate.
If there's any historians out there, just so happens to be listening to one of our amazing random chats, please do share some love and let us know whether my insight is accurate or completely not.
So I pulled up the full list of the new ones.
Do it.
Chichen Itza in Mexico. Yeah, that makes sense. Have you been?
Now, I think I've been there because I went to the Maya. I went to Tulum, and I believe we went to this old Maya, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, area where they still have some existing structures and temples. It was beautiful. And I think that might have been in the same place.
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I've not been. I've been to some places in Mexico, but I don't think I've been ever to Chichen Itza.
No, but I may not have been, but
The Colosseum in Rome.
done.
Done. Stunning.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Love it.
Love
There's also, it's right next to a gay bar as well. I just think it's a great.
I mean, how thoughtful and considerate of them. Big, strong gladiator men, gay bar, the two go hand in hand.
It was just like, as you're standing out there chatting in the streets, like you can see the Colosseum. You're like, wow, that's handy. Yeah, I thought this one would be on the Great Wall of China.
Yes, now I haven't been there, but my parents have.
Did they like it?
Loved it.
Did they
Now,
walk a lot of it?
They walked some of it, but I've got, if I may interject, I've got a couple of interesting facts that I just happen to know, and I don't think I know very much about anything, but these I do. Apparently, the Great Wall of China is one of the only things that you can see from space.
Right.
On satellite because it's so big.
Yes.
And apparently, the Great Wall of China was made by different dynasties as they passed on, or when they were alive, they would build an extension to the wall. And when the next dynasty took over, then they would build their extension to the wall. And apparently this is how the wall became as long as it did, was over different dynasties over like centuries.
Wow. You are
Yeah,
full of facts today, aren't you?
I am. And also the amount of people that died making that wall was found because they found human remains
Well, I'm
all
sure.
along the wall because
Well, like, what are they going to do back then? Like,
I mean,
work to death, and then they do, and then it's like, well, just carry on, bury him.
but what does the wall have a purpose? Is the wall to, stop?
See, this is why we're not historians. Maybe this wasn't the best.
No, but I think we sound quite semi-intelligent with this.
Yeah.
We don't know, but we'll just say that maybe the wall was built to stop people from getting into something they weren't allowed to.
Over its history, the Great Wall served three different purposes throughout its history. Dave's definition again. To protect the Chinese Empire from foreign invaders, understandable. Act as a physical barrier between northern and southern civilizations.
Ah.
And, interesting, to protect the Silk Road trade. Interesting.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that's like, I can see why they've done it. And that's, I just look at a picture now, it just goes on for a very long time, right?
I mean, do we know how long?
That's not a question I have open right now.
Don't worry about it. Well, let's move on. Give me some more, because that's three.
How long would it take to walk the Great Shut up? How long would it take to walk the Great Wall of China? I love a good walk, you know me.
Can I guess?
Now, go on, guess.
Based on that reaction, knowing I know how much you love your hiking, and I know how much you love your walking, I'm going to say like 12 hours.
Higher.
24.
Higher.
36.
I'm just going to say, I would think more months than hours.
Go on.
It's 5,000 miles long.
That's from here to England. Oh my God.
If you were walking it, obviously you don't know what kind of pace you get. 18 months, Jude.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Winding his staggering way along the Great Wall takes a little of introduction. It's seriously long, would take around 18 months to walk in length.
Well, maybe some of those bones that are by the wall are just people that attempted it and just, died of starvation.
Please don't try and walk back from here to the UK.
Well, I can't. There's a massive pool of water in between the two countries. I'm good.
Crazy.
18 months. Well, there you go, Dade. We learn something new every day.
And I know on some documentaries I've seen is that I think some are just falling down a bit more and things like that, and maybe you can't walk all of it, but I don't know. Like it's interesting. All right. What did you say earlier that some of the others were?
Petra in Jordan.
Yes, correct. There's two more we're missing.
Gonna have to help me out here, friend.
One is in India.
We did the Taj Mahal.
Oh, we did? Okay, then we've got one left. Okay, sorry. I missed that. One's in Brazil.
Oh! Look at the bingo wings.
The Chrysler Arena. The Chrysler Arena of Rio de Janeiro. I've been to that. Like when I was traveling, many years ago, 2006. I went there. It's great. That's where this year Madonna did a big concert on Copacabana Beach, right? I went and saw a similar concert, not the same size, with the Rolling Stones on that beach.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
is that Copacabana Beach?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they did like 1 million people. So
oh my gosh!
it was a lot of people. It was a lot.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it was more like go and see it and then get out because
yeah, I can imagine that'd be a one massive party as well.
Trying to get to any like stadium or anything with like 100,000. So imagine like 10 times that. It's
exactly. Now apparently that statue is so tall.
How tall is it, dude?
I don't know. It's big.
It's big.
I mean, I'm not even going to hazard a guess because I'm terrible at this stuff.
No, don't mind. Go
on. But apparently it gets struck by lightning quite frequently because of its size. And apparently one time it got struck, the statue lost its thumb.
Oh, so you just but that doesn't surprise me because there was a video going around the other day of one of the pyramids in Egypt being hit by lightning
Oh,
twice.
really? Oh, I didn't. Oh, God. Well, how poignant.
Explodes. Like literally.
No.
I'll send you on Instagram.
Yeah. Do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So so we started off this conversation saying, the one you gave the definition, Dade's
Yeah. Of wonders.
definition. But so what actually makes the shortlist for being a wonder of the world?
Who decides?
Huh?
Who decides?
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Who does decide that?
Yeah. Like, is it just, I don't know, governments?
Because it
Certain
has to
people?
be, I mean, the wonder of the world has to be. Well, I know two of them actually. I do know two of them. I don't know the third, but I know that structure is one and diversity is another. And then there's another category which has to be included or considered in order for it to become a wonder of the world. But I know diversity and structure are up there.
But also, like, because there are other kind of wonders of the world, like, because I would have thought like the Great Barrier Reef should have been on there. Like, stunning, beautiful.
But is that not the natural world?
It is the natural world, but
Is this are we talking man-made stuff here?
see, that's the thing. There's just so many categories that we could jump into.
Artistic and cultural value.
Yeah. Yeah, look, when I look at these, yes, these are all built or like of our history. Yeah, it's like when I look at some of them, you look at the engineering of them, you look at them and you're like, they are of the time. They mean something of part of history.
There's actually something that's coming to my mind now that I'm surprised you haven't thought of. You've already mentioned Great Barrier Reef in Australia, but what else in Australia?
Oh, Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Or yeah,
I just don't think that's old enough.
or Sydney Opera House.
I don't think that's old enough either. That's only like 1900s. They
But
built.
do you think age plays a part of it? Because I was going to ask you a question actually. If you could name a wonder of the world, what would it be and why? And the only so that's a question to you to ponder.
Yes.
But for me, I was thinking about these buildings, and there's that new hotel in Singapore, I think it is, that's got this. There's two towers of hotel rooms, and then there's a connecting piece at the top, which is a swimming pool with a glass bottom.
Looks like a boat. Looks like a big boat across the top.
Right. Now that, I don't know, I have not that well traveled, but I saw that and I thought to myself, well, that's amazing. And then of course you've got the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, which is like the tallest building. Then I thought about the Shard in London. So there's all these new kind of
the Shard I put architecturally as a wonder. Because then, like, I would like, why is it like? Because I like structurally, I'd think like things like Big Ben in London, like the history there, right? Like,
yeah,
that is quite a monument. And what about some of the castles in the UK? Like, there's some real big grand castles, but I guess there are all over Europe. So
there are. And then guess what box you're ticking for diversity there?
yeah, true.
So that's the thing. Like, almost like, I don't know, I don't want to go down that tangent, but yeah, it's a really tricky one. And like you said, who actually gets together around a table and has this conversation to make that decision?
Just ask the question: who decides wonders, the seven wonders? Who decided the seven wonders? Originally chosen by Hellenic travelers passing through Persian, Babylon, and Egyptian lands. Who decides? The 2011 initial started by the Swiss corporation New Seven Wonders Foundation to choose the new seven of over 200 existing. So,
oh wow,
this corporation seems to have kicked
I guess someone had to take the baton.
I guess, but what gave them a decision in right? Like, what credentials do they have?
Maybe they thought about it first and thought, we can make some money off of this idea.
Somebody will be making a podcast about it at some point.
Right?
Yeah, that's also because that, like, when I was doing some research, what I just found there's like all these different lists, like USA Today's new seven wonders. I'm like, of course, the news channels pick seven. But that kind of like they had on there, one of them was the internet as a wonder of the world. And I'm like,
Well, hang on. I mean, I'm kind of agreeing with that, I think.
like you can go, well, it is a wonder because like look at what it's done. Like, and they've also got Grand Canyon. I'd agree with that. Grand Canyon is. Have you done the Grand Canyon?
I have done the Grand Canyon.
Like, it's amazing. Like, it's
It's
just beautiful.
stunning.
But they've got like Old City of Jerusalem, the Mayan ruins in Mexico.
Yeah, that's probably what I went to go and see.
Yeah. But then there's like the 7 natural wonders of the world, which is where like the Great Barrier Reef,
Oh, there you go.
Mount Everest, like Mount Everest
Yeah.
has been successfully mounted by many.
And Niagara Falls. Surely that's got to be on the list.
Niagara and Iguazu Falls, like Iguazu
And
Falls,
where?
the Iguazu Falls, which are in the cross between Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That
Okay.
sounds,
Oh, it's stunning. It's
yeah,
stunning.
that
Like
sounds
breathtaking.
incredible.
Like in Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. Like there's just so many beautiful places in this earth, basically. So it's
Yeah,
hard
which
to
we
have
haven't
a feeling.
seen.
But then there's
Yes.
like 7 wonders of nature, 7 wonders of the city, 7 wonders of the underwater world.
Well, I think they're not getting as much publicity as the ancient 7 wonders of the world or the new 7 wonders. I think we need to spearhead a little bit more
Just be a
information.
bit more
to go out
promoting of
there.
all the others. Just be a bit
Yeah.
more inclusive. Like they wanted like diversity.
Right, and Dade and Jude could be the ambassadors of the natural 7 wonders of the world. If anyone's looking for any ambassadors, because we love to travel, and obviously we're really good at doing this kind of communication, sharing all the stuff that we know.
We're very good at like we'll teach your kids.
Yeah, God, we're just opening up so many job opportunities right now. It's amazing.
And I think on that note, look, it's been an interesting conversation because I actually didn't know where we were going to go with this. I've actually learned some stuff today, and I found it very funny.
Yes, I've enjoyed it too, and I thank you so much for being so hot off the press with sharing back some questions which we didn't know the answers to because we were just being random.
Thank you, Dr. Google. And that's been another random chat with Dade and Jude. I'm Dade.
And I'm Jude.
I'll speak to you soon. Take care.